So you've heard about Bitcoin. You heard that it has over a $1 trillion market cap and is currently the world's largest cryptocurrency asset. But you have no idea what it is. Well, today I'm going to make sure you know more than 99% of the population about Bitcoin. So stick around.
This is Houston. We can't get you to the moon. We can get you halfway, but the rest is up to you.
What's up, guys? Nick here with Above Average Crypto, and today I am going to tell you guys all about Bitcoin. Now, if you're still unsure of what blockchain technology is, I'm going to leave a link up here to my video that I did covering it last week to help give you a better understanding. So you can just click on that and then come back to this video and I will show you guys how Bitcoin is built on the blockchain. Now, that video is a little rough. It was my first time doing things. I'm still trying to figure out how to talk to a camera. Still trying to figure out exactly what the hell to do with my hands.
I'm not sure what to do with my hands.
Be good just to hold them down by your
Okay.
side. Yeah, great.
Well, we were real happy with what was going on, and at the end of the day, you got to be happy.
But none of that's going to stop me from bringing you guys good quality information about the crypto space. Right now, we're just covering the basics, but I do have a lot of good stuff in store for you guys. I really cannot wait to get into decentralized finance because a lot of people already know how to buy cryptos on exchanges, decentralized exchanges and stuff, but they don't quite know how to use the DeFi space. So I'm excited to get to that stuff later on. So on January 3rd, 2009, Bitcoin was launched by an anonymous group or person named Satoshi Nakamoto. Their identity is still not been confirmed to this day of who the person actually is, or group for that matter. Now, this is why you will commonly hear anything less than one whole Bitcoin referred to as a Satoshi. And the best way that I can explain this to you guys is to think of an American dollar, and anything less than that, say 50 cents, is referred to as cents. So anything less than one Bitcoin is going to be referred to as Satoshis. But let's take a step back and find out exactly why they wanted to create this digital currency on blockchain technology. So back in the good old days, they would actually use gold and other forms of physical currency to carry around and trade with each other. Now, eventually, we realized that that can get kind of cumbersome carrying all of that gold.
You carry a heavy burden, Frodo.
So eventually we would start taking these gold to banks, and in exchange they would give us receipts in form of bills, and then we go out and trade them, and then if you wanted to cash it out, you take it back to the bank and you would turn in your bills. And eventually changes would keep being made and then lead into our current system today where your money's really not backed by gold anymore, and we just rely on our government, a centralized entity, to control that and hold our money's value for us. So now that leads us into Bitcoin, where they set out with a goal to decentralize currency. So they built Bitcoin on blockchain technology. And like I said, my last video was on blockchain technology, so you really need to go check that out if you don't have an understanding of what blockchain technology is. So with Bitcoin on this blockchain technology, I can send something directly from my wallet to my friend's wallet or whoever's wallet without a middleman such as PayPal or my bank. Whenever I go and put my debit card in and pay for something at the gas station, it has to get authorization from my bank. So that's the beauty of cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. Like seriously though, to be able to send my money directly from my wallet to my buddy's wallet without any central entity controlling that or governing that, that's huge, guys.
Amazing, isn't it?
Now, there are still some centralizing factors in cryptocurrency, but I'm going to get to those another day in a different video. Today, I'm just going to go ahead and continue with Bitcoin. So now you may be wondering exactly how Bitcoins are formed and integrated into a blockchain, and this is done through a process called mining. And to give you guys a better visual representation of exactly how mining works, I have a little diagram pulled up here on bitpanda.com. And this is actually something I do myself in my basement with the Ethereum network. So I got a video on Ethereum coming up next week, guys. All right, guys, so I got this diagram pulled up on bitpanda.com, and this is going to run through a scenario of a transaction being processed with Bitcoin. So we're going to pretend that Alice wants to buy a product from Bob using Bitcoin, okay? So she has her own private key. You guys probably learn about that stuff later on when I talk about exchanges and whatnot, but And she signs a message with the amount of Bitcoins and Bob's wallet address requesting a transaction. So the transactions requested by Alice is bundled into a block with other transactions. So you guys remember in that first video when I told you about how blockchain works, not just a single transaction goes into a block, multiple transactions go into a block until that block is full and it gets added to the blockchain. All right. So now for this transaction to get processed, the block is broadcast to all mining nodes in the Bitcoin network. Now, what are mining nodes? For the example I'm going to give is like I have GPUs or graphic processing units. Just think of them as computers, okay? So I have these computers in my basement. So when a transaction is requested on the Bitcoin network, it sends a broadcast out to all the miners, such as myself, that have these computers to process these transactions, okay? So it sends out the broadcast and it has a number that these computers have to guess. And these computers guess thousands and thousands of times per second trying to get this number right. And whichever miner's computers guess that number right gets to process that transaction and add it onto the blockchain right up here, okay? So that's the part where the network of nodes validates Alice's transaction, okay? So a miner guessed, their computer guessed that number right, and then they got to do that transaction. Their computer processes that transaction and puts it into the block. And once that block's full, it gets put on the blockchain, okay? And miners get rewarded in Bitcoin for doing this. So that's why there's an incentive to be a Bitcoin miner. So that's where I'm saying the first miner to validate the new block for the blockchain receives a portion of the Bitcoin as a reward. And now the transaction is complete and the new block is added to the blockchain. The block is permanent and cannot be modified. So once those blocks get added to the blockchain, like I told you, they had their own unique encryption and they are there forever. And they have to get validated by all future transactions to show that this is a real currency. This is not something, you can't just go online and create a number and put a Bitcoin beside it and say, hey guys, I got Bitcoin. No, it has to be validated by these mining nodes. And that's what makes blockchain technology so secure. So just a quick recap on exactly how Bitcoins are formed. So somebody sends out a transaction, the transaction is broadcast out to all the miners, and then a miner secures that transaction, processes it, and puts it in a block and adds it to the blockchain, and they are rewarded in Bitcoin. So now you may be wondering how many Bitcoin there actually are in circulation. Well, as I'm making this video, the total supply sits around 18,700,000. But Bitcoin will have a max total supply of 21 million. Now, it sounds like we're real close to that number since we're already at 18 million, but the last Bitcoin is actually estimated to be mined in the year 2140, making the hard cap on the total supply of Bitcoin at 21 million. And this helps increase the value of Bitcoin. It's just a matter of supply and demand. But that's going to wrap it up for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Next week, I'm going to be talking to you guys about Ethereum. This one's my baby. I love this one. This is one I started mining and stuff. And I think it has a very great outlook on it. But yeah, guys, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below if you have anything you want to ask. I'll try to get back to you. So catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.